Let's go fishing. I'm on a mission. It's so pretty, I'd sure hate to waste this chance. We'll find a shady little spot, not too cool, not too high. Perfect for a little fishing and romance. Oh yes. There's nothing so inviting, nothing quite as exciting as a little fishing when they're biting. Let's go fishing. Let's go fishing.
Morning, boys and girls. It's 28 degrees and it's February the 2nd, 2026, and I'm going back in here a little bit and head up the river a little bit and do a little trolling and pushing and jigging, just a little bit of everything, see if I can catch a few specks. Yeah, moving's going down there. Yeah, it's cold. Cold. Just bundle up. This ain't nothing I am not used to. I used to ice fish. Well, I put the Mafia rods out and the Muck City cane poles out and just started up the river again, guys, and they're hitting. I mean, cold weather don't really affect the crappie or specks or whatever you want to call them too much. The ones I caught were nice, and I caught almost 40 today. Of course, George Tackle had some good baits this morning, guys. Really good minis, and I just put a spread out there with my my Mafia rods and Muck City cane poles and just started catching them. It's pretty neat. I mean, they're not chasing. What I'm saying is, this colder weather, you got to slow down your tactics, you might say, a little bit, because they're not chasing, and they're pretty close to the bottom. I didn't put my electronics on because I knew from yesterday, what was going on. I just stayed out there where the break was and just started up the river and just started catching them. Wind was blowing a little bit, and it was 28 degrees when I put in with the wind blowing though. I figure it was down to teens there a little bit, but layer your clothes and you'll be fine. You know, just layer your clothes and take your time. I mean, don't go out there and go 60 miles an hour and you won't freeze to death. I can remember it wasn't that long ago I was standing on a block of ice this time of the year fishing through a hole on the lake for perch and crappie and bluegill, you know, and trout. So this is nothing new, this old man. You know, I've fished in the cold before and fished. I'm sorry, there might be a day or two they'll slow down, but eventually they'll bite. I mean, they gotta eat, you know, especially you know they're spawning and coming off the spawn. And they got to put that feed sack back on, and but yeah, I caught a heck of a mess of fish today. Just good. And people were texting me, so why don't you keep them? Well, I just don't keep them, guys. Out of Okeechobee, I just don't keep them. I don't keep the crappie. You know, there's enough other people can keep them. But yeah, I just don't keep them. I like fishing for them. I like, you know, especially in conditions like this where I hear everybody saying, oh man, they ain't gonna bite for another week, 4 or 5 days. Baloney. Baloney. Now you win 2 or 3 foot of water, they're not gonna bite. But if you go out here on the break where it's about 15 to 20 foot deep, trust me, they're down there in their comfort zone. They're gonna bite. Yeah, you're gonna bite. The main thing is, you know, and I see a lot of guys right now are anchoring, which they always do. The old timers go down there to the mouth there and they go out and they anchor and they catch them that way. But I do it once in a while. I'll anchor and wait till they come in. But I like pushing. I like trolling for them. Jigging, I'm not a big jig fan, guys. Never have been. I mean, if you can get into them, I mean, you can catch them jigging. I mean, I've seen guys, you know, like I said yesterday, they're, you know, got their poles off both sides and they're going down through there just really easy jigging. Well, they're not really jigging. They're pushing like I am right here. Only they're pushing with jigs. And seems like cocaine's the color they're catching them on. Cocaine's white, though, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, guys put their names on them and stuff, but I use my white when it's a calf tail that I tie, and I catch them with it. Yeah, I really like these Muck City cane poles, guys. You can get them up to 20 foot long and that way you can stick it way out there in front of the boat before you get to it. And if they are real spooky, but trust me, they're not real spooky right now. I mean, they're right underneath the boat with the electric motor going real slow. And I drift when I can, you know, if the wind's blowing me, I'll drift when I can and ease it down through there. But yeah, it's that's my Mafia rod there. I got my Mafia 14-foot rods there, and they're ideal too. I mean, they're you can use those for trolling, but they're a little harder to handle. I mean, for your trolling, you understand what I'm saying? If you use them like this for your pushing, you just got to pick up on it. Now, trolling, you got to kind of reel them in, and it's kind of a long rod, and you know, I like 10, 11 foot for trolling, and you know, go down to 9, 8, and even clear down to 6. And I usually troll 6 poles, and you know, and that's put a spread out that way. The real long poles, you can use the real long poles if you're a harvester, which you know what I call a harvester. Then people want to put out 100 poles and catch them, you know, all they can catch, you know. But I'm in for the challenge and the bite and the fight. Like Mike Collins says, you know, if you're out there to do that, get out to fish market and buy you a mess of fish. Under these conditions, I'm telling you, when you're running a big boat, you always want to wear a life jacket. And I say that, and times I forget. And you want to hook up your kill switch, of course, when you're running like this when it's 20 degrees. But if you're out there fishing and the temperature's this cold, and look how much clothes I got on. You go in, say you fall in, there's no way you're going to be able to, swim. So you better have that life jacket on and kind of keep you afloat. Heaven forbid, there I got one on there. But anyway, heaven forbid something happened where you're, saying, well, you've heard this before, is you're dead before you hit the water. Well, say you are, in which, I guess best scenario, sit there and freeze to death. But if you're dead before you hit the water, at least that life jacket will come on and it'll keep you afloat, your body afloat. And which, if someone's looking for you, okay, you got first responders out there looking for you in this cold weather and wind. I mean, they're putting their life at risk too to find you. So, bottom line is wear a life jacket, especially when in these kind of conditions, especially when you get older, or even when you're younger when you're wearing a lot of clothes. I'm telling you, if you want to know what these clothes will do, just take a sweatshirt, okay, and just throw it out in the water, and then go over and try to pick it up. It's like picking up a concrete block. It really is. Just what then the water, gets in. And then I got boots on and everything. But yeah, wear a life jacket. Right down through here, I really got into them. I mean, I really started pulling them in right here. I didn't video all of it where I was catching because some of the places I was catching them, it's some of my fans. I go there tomorrow and they'll be sitting there, But one place I bet I caught over 20 there in about half hour. It was unbelievable. Which there was so many distinguishing landmarks that I didn't video it. I just kind of videoed going down the river, and I caught enough going down the river. Look at the size of them. They are really nice specs. I mean, they're really nice size. Shout out to my old buddy Billy Starkey up north there. He's kind of having withdrawals because the river's froze over and all the lakes are froze over up there, and see how big they are. They're big. I mean, you can't put your hands around them. Yeah, and shout out to my old buddy John Watson. He's on his way down. He's gonna come down and fish with me some here in about a week or so, and here I took my drone out and I give a bird's eye view of what was going on and how I have it spread and how you should spread it out. It's pretty neat. I mean, it is. I mean, you go up through there and I just put 8 poles out. I mean, I've seen people put as high as double that, 16 of them do it. But them's the people that's wanting to keep them, and I don't want to keep them, so I just want to catch them. So yeah, I got some pretty good shots here with my drone. Drone's handy. I mean, it really is. I mean, yeah. And this drone that I've got, I think I paid somebody asked me, I paid $360 for it. And you can see, I mean, it's a little bit dark, but it puts out a pretty good, this is early in the morning, puts out a pretty good shot. I mean, it's amazing what technology they've got out there now. But you can see how I've got it spread all the way around. And the ones in the front there, I got them out there, it wouldn't hurt to have some 20-footers sticking out there in the front. And again, I use the Eagle Claw gold hooks, which I don't think that makes a big difference, crappie hooks. And then I use 4 BB split shots down through there, which helps keep my line straight down in the front, which is very important. That you don't want it sagging back to the back. I mean, you want to go slow enough that it's straight down. If you have to, put more BBs on it, to keep it down. You can also put weights on there if you want to, and do it that way. But I like the split shot thing and if you want to go faster, you don't have to use heavier weights. I tried that. I tried the 3-ounce weights, which I've heard guys do, and I didn't care for it. I mean, you're pulling up 3 ounces of lead, then you're pulling up the spec too, and if you're really wanting to harvest, that's probably the way to go. You can cover a lot of territory and you can harvest a lot of them. But again, I'm not harvesting. I'm just out here trying to outsmart this little fish and catch it. The wind. When I first got there, the wind wasn't blowing bad, but the wind blew all morning, and it kind of made it tough a little bit, because you gotta maintain that certain speed, but if you got the wind there, it's hard to do. Blowing your back. So I was going into the wind and just going real slow, and but that seemed like I'd done all right, Yes, guys, I hear the cold does not affect these crappie. It really doesn't. I mean, you can drag them in the cold. I don't care what they say. Just you go out there and you find a thermocline in the deep water, and once you find that thermocline, and you'll see the bait there, and the crappie will be there. Okay. Now you go in, like I said before, you go in 2 or 3 foot of water. It ain't going to happen because that water at 2 foot, if it's 20 degrees, it's going to be 30-some or 40-some degrees. But like the next day or two, it's going to warm back up. But even at 2 or 3 foot of water, it warms up. Yeah, just go slow, 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 and you'll catch them. You still catch your best of fish. You can again see how far I'm off the bank. I mean, it's anywhere from 14 to 20 foot out there, and they're down that deep. And I'm got about 16 to 18 foot of line out, and straight down. And the way I fluctuate my line down there, my Millennium rods holders, you can move them up and down, which you can fluctuate your depth. Now, if you want to go down deeper, then you put your tip of your rod right close to the water. You're down there 16 or 18 feet, If you want to come up to about 10 foot, then you just take that and tilt that rod holder back and bring it up to about 10 foot. But when it's cold like this, they're down there in the thermocline. They're down there in deep water. So you got to go down deep. And my tips of my rods are probably only about 6 inches off the top of the water. And a couple times I broke off and the line shortened, and I couldn't catch anything. So I had to put more line back on them. I mean, you had to, yeah, you had to get down there where they're at. I mean, it's not rocket science. I mean, and crappie, they look up. I mean, they won't, not like a bass. A bass, like if you flip a jig in there or flip a Senko in there and you leave it lay on bottom, a bass will go up and look at it sideways for a few seconds, and sometimes they'll just pick it up off the bottom. Crappie don't do that. They look up, guys. They look up, and unless they're hugging the bottom and you bring them up and they're got mud on them, you got to kind of just put that bait right there above them, and they'll come up for it. Don't get me wrong, they'll come up for it, but they will not hardly go down for it, you know what I'm saying? and if you got, like I got 8 poles out, and you put them in different depths, and you see, okay, I'm catching them on this one right here, and I got 14 foot of line on this, and I've got it, right close to the top of the water. Put the rest of them right there in same way, Yeah, I don't believe that baloney about they won't bite in cold weather. I don't care if there was ice out here on top of the water, they'd bite. They'll bite, I'm telling you. Especially right now, the full moon coming up, full moon. This is coming into February. Oh, yeah. I think they're catching them in Indian Prairie also. They're also catching them down at Harney Pond. And, Cochran's, sportsmen's out there, and the monkey box I'm hearing talk about. And over on the shoals, they're catching them over there. So, the crappie are really starting to turn on real good. So down south, and I know a few guys are catching them out in front of King's Bar, and not back here in the shallows, but they're catching them out in the reeds right on the edge of the lake. Okay, they're right on the edge of the lake in the deep water. Now, when it warms back up, they'll move back in that shallow water. But right now, as it's cold, they're right out there on the edge of the lake. And some of these guys in here that jig all the time where I live, that's where they're catching them at. So, yeah, they're nice fish. I mean, they were really nice fish. Honest goodness, I don't think I caught a short fish today. I mean, they were all pretty nice fish. And I caught a couple real nice ones like I did the other day. Fish on, guys. Fish on. Fish on, my man. Fish on. I'm going to try something in the morning. I know I'm going to get some shiners, small shiners, and I'm going to scale my line down to 6 pound test. And I'm going to deep water and see if I can catch some bass and see if the bass are doing the same thing as these specks are. That they're down there on the thermocline too. Now the other day, right, I was catching bass doing this, okay, but I didn't catch no bass today. Now I will say that I didn't catch bass like I did the other day. Only thing I caught was crappie. I caught crappie and I had several of them. But tomorrow morning I'm going to get up and try to catch some bass. Bass is just a different critter. They're not like specks and bluegill and perch and walleye and stuff like that. They're a little more sensitive to the water change than the panfish. But still, once them bass get kind of used to that cold water like that, a couple days, they'll hit. I'm telling you right now, they got to feed. I mean, their metabolism slows down, but they'll hit. You put it in front of them, they'll grab it. We'll find out in the morning. I'll see what happens. I know I'm going to go up here in some deep holes where I marked some big fish the other day where I was catching bass right before this front moved in. So I'm going to go down deep water and see if they're there. I really like them Muck City cane poles, guys. They just feel good in your hand, like them mafia rods. You ever, you get used to something, and you just think, man, and they've got that kind of like that foam on the back of them, and it just feels good in your hands. Well, when the water warms back up, I'll start trolling again. I mean, you got to do whatever you got to do. I mean, for the conditions. Right now, the trolling thing is not really working all that well. They're not chasing, but if you just put it right in front of their nose, like pushing like it's real slow, you'll catch them. So, if you want to go out and do this, give me a call or call through the shop and get Captain Danny or Captain Bob will take you out, and our Captain Butch will take you out speck fishing. In the next, it'll last about 6 more weeks. Sometimes it's been lasting until April. So give us a call there at a Garage Tackle or call me at 304-398-5215. Also, guys, when I take a trip or I take you out, I don't fish. I do not fish. You fish. I'm guiding you to fish. If you get a guy that jumps up front there and starts fishing and starts telling how great they are and how much they've done, this and that, that's not what you're there. You're there to fish and catch fish. I don't fish, guys. If I take a trip now, if you get 10 or you get 25, that's fine. But yeah, I don't fish. I guide. You can't guide and fish. I've been always told that for 50 years. So yeah, if you go out with me, you're gonna fish.
Try to love on your wife and stay close to your friends. Toast each sundown with wine. Don't let the old man in. Weathered and worn. Ask yourself, how would you be